Araceli Cruz. I am an alumna from Alabama State University, which is located in Montgomery, Alabama. And I graduated from the College of William & Mary with my master in accounting in Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm from the Chicagoland area, but I am currently residing in Baltimore, Maryland, where I work for EY, Ernst & Young. I've been here for about a year and some change, and I am currently a staff too. Well, I didn't have any past before I started with the firm, so I've done all my studying with working. I don't recommend it at all. I would study maybe 4 hours every day, either before work or after work. And then on the weekends, I would study 12 to 15 hour days. Not highly recommended, but that's what worked for me. And I did do the final review as well. So I had the regular study material and I had final review Becker. And I felt like that final review is the reason why I passed FAR, Reg, and BEC the first try. Because I didn't do it with auditing, but I did it for those three and I passed those three on the first try. So I recommend it. I would say, most people would say FAR or Reg because it's a lot of content, but I would have to say BEC. Not the biggest fan of internal control framework or enterprise risk management or IT governance. And I had no interest in that content. So it was very hard to get through, especially when you aren't interested in it. But that was actually my highest score, surprisingly. I think because I didn't like it as much, I had to force myself to really understand it. I took audit, then I took FAR, then I took Reg, then I took BEC. I wanted to do an easier one first, just to build the confidence, to know that I can do it. But I probably should have started off harder. But yeah, I started because I wanted to just get one at least underneath my belt, build that confidence, knowing that I can do it, and then go harder after that. I started studying for audit. So I actually failed audit the first time. I took it in grad school. That's how I knew I wasn't supposed to study in grad school and take the CPA. I got a 73 on my first audit, and that was May 2018. So May 2019. I took the summer off as I did an internship to prepare for regular work, get my apartment all set up. So I didn't do any studying that summer. Got to work and everyone was saying how they passed the CPA exam or they only had 1 or 2 sections left and I didn't have any. So I knew I wanted to just go ahead and get audit out the way because I couldn't sit. 73 did not sit right with me. So luckily I was unassigned the first couple of weeks with the firm and I was able to study during working hours. And I took it 3 weeks after studying, and that was like mid-October. And because my client has a 9/30 year end, and we just got the trial balance mid-October, I did a little bit of studying during busy season for FAR. So I took FAR, I studied for FAR for about 7 weeks. I didn't have a true busy season as we only worked 12 hours, like 7 to 7 or 9 to 7 or whatever the case may be. I ended work at 7:30 every day. So I would eat dinner and study till midnight, but I would get up early in the morning, like 6:30, 6 o'clock, study till maybe 8:30, hurry up, get dressed, go to work. So that's about 6 hours every day if you count the 2 in the morning and then 4 at night. Like I said, I had no weekends, no social life, studying 12 to 15 hours. And I did that for 7 weeks straight. I wouldn't say I was the happiest, but I took it, got a 77, passed FAR on the first try. And then of course, coronavirus happened. I was planning to take Reg after winter busy season in April. Testing centers are closed, so the next available appointment they had was July. Took Reg, studied for that in maybe 2.5 weeks, doing those 12, 15-hour days because luckily I was unassigned in the summertime. And then for BEC, I got pretty complacent because I was like, oh, I got 3 done. I finished FAR, I finished Reg. BEC is a piece of cake. I started studying for BEC. I'm like, okay, this isn't a piece of cake. So I ended up pushing it back twice. And then I ended up passing that on the first try. So I passed FAR, Reg, and BEC all on the first try. I did finish all of my tests in a year with the firm. Took my first test October 18th. I took my last test September 17th. So 11 months-ish in the middle of a pandemic. It was the worst taking a test with your mask on. Oh my goodness, it's not recommended. I think with all 4 exams, I did not feel good coming out of the testing center. Like, I just knew I felt like I should go home and study. I would say just knowing the purpose, your purpose, knowing why you're doing it. If it was easy, everybody would be a CPA, and it's not. So just keeping that drive, being very disciplined, and knowing that it is possible. Don't get too bogged down in the details. The test is very high level. Don't dig too deep in the little things. Think of it as a 2-mile long test, and it's 3 feet deep instead of it being 3 feet wide and 2 miles deep. It's not as particular as people may think. It's so many concepts and principles they have to test, so they're not going to go too in depth in a lot of things. That people can do it, it's definitely possible. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It's possible. Well, luckily, when you go to the testing centers, they don't do fingerprints anymore. You still have to go through metal detectors, but no fingerprint. They do give you a pen and paper instead of a laminated marker, or a laminate and a marker. I would say do your mock exams with the mask on so you can get comfortable with sitting in a mask for 4 hours. But luckily, nobody's next to you in the cube. It's literally you, and then you have each side of you is empty. So it's not that many people in the testing center either. So I guess that calms you down that a lot of people aren't there.